What's going on, everybody? It's RJ here, and I just want to take a few minutes to talk about floating and sports recovery. So I just got out of an awesome float, and with a couple of weeks left before the Canadian Hercules competition that I'm competing in, I just wanted to take a few moments and explain how I'm using floating to help with my recovery and preparation for the competition coming up. So if nothing else, the float tank is a really awesome way to practice meditation and get into a deep meditative state. But the icing on the cake with that is the physical relaxation you get. So when it comes to the heavy training that I'm doing, particularly when coming into a competition, it's really important to give your body that chance to completely relax and decompress. And I find that with the float tank, your body's completely supported by the Epsom salt water, and you're able to get that physical relaxation along with the turning your brain off and that mental relaxation of the meditation effect. So because of the physical benefits of floating, I've found it really beneficial over the last year and a half. I've had some pretty bad back pain from heavy training and never getting a chance to fully take time off to fully recover. And so the float tank and being able to help that tight muscle in my back decompress and sort of release the strain has been really beneficial as far as getting my recovery on point. The other great thing about floating is that it's a chance to get your nervous system reset. So obviously a lot of heavy weightlifting takes a big toll on your nervous system, and it's important to get that sympathetic nervous system turned off and get some parasympathetic going, some rest and digest after a lot of heavy training throughout the weeks. Throughout the weeks leading up to a competition, there's a lot of heavy training going in to the point that the competition actually, even though you're really putting yourself on the line and pushing to the absolute limit, doesn't feel as hard as a lot of the training leading up to it, because you're doing so many extra sets and reps to get in that quality movement and really practice the exercises or the events that are going to be in the competition. So I find that it's super important to get that nervous system reset when trying to get as primed as possible before a competition. And I find floating's been really helpful for me in that aspect as well, because it's so relaxing, really turns your brain off and gets you into a very deep parasympathetic state, which can even help with digesting all the food that you're eating when you're getting in ready for a competition like this. Obviously the training, but also everything else that life throws at you becomes a snowball effect of stress in the competition, in the weeks leading up to a competition. And so getting the chance to completely unwind and get that parasympathetic state going is extra important when it comes to those last few weeks, and really trying to mitigate as much stress as possible so that your body's got every ounce of adrenaline that it can possibly eke out for the competition day. And then the final factor that I want to mention today about why floating is one of the number one things that I use for recovery now is the visualization aspect of any type of competition. The more that you can get yourself mentally rehearsed for whatever comes at you in the competition, the better off you're going to be. And so this is something that I use throughout meditation as well as while floating in the last couple weeks leading up to a competition, just so that my mind's as mentally prepared as my body is, and that way I can harness as much of the adrenaline come competition day as possible. I've talked about visualization and written about it in the past, but I really encourage that you go out and try to make use of it, no matter what it is that you're doing. If it's for a competition or even for like trying to start up a business, and basically anything can really benefit from you getting your brain set on it as much as your body. So visualization is a really important part of the practice that comes into trying to excel and become world class at anything. And we see a lot of professional athletes making use of visualization in many different ways. And I really encourage you to give it a try. And the best thing that I can advise you on doing is just try to get yourself in the state of mind and how you're going to feel on the day of the competition, whatever it is, or the day of the sports game, the event. Just get everything in your head looking the way you think it's going to look if you don't know exactly what it's going to look like, and go from there. So rehearse everything as closely as possible to what it's going to be like on competition day, and it'll just get you that much more prepared so that when you go into the competition and you are facing the challenges that you've rehearsed through your mind and also hopefully through physical practice, you'll be that much more ready to harness the adrenaline and the nerves that come with the crowd and the stage that's set on competition day. So I encourage you to give visualization a shot and let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you want to hear more about that in even more details, and I'd be happy to describe it even further. But my best advice is to just go out and try to do it with whatever kind of event you've got coming up, and you'll notice a difference as far as how you can actually improve your performance because you've practiced in your mind and not just in your body. So yeah, give that a shot. And I'll be back again soon with the next segment of this sports recovery series and talking about the different types of tools and techniques that I'm going to be using in the next couple of weeks leading up to the Canadian Hercules, which is on September 14th. So thanks for watching, and I'll check you again next time.